Good day, good day. Here we are ready for another roll reveal. This one is number 861, 1954S. BU roll. Going to open it up here and take a good check inside and see what we have. Coins look pretty nice from here. We'll likely have others come in as we go along. I have 3 scheduled for today, but may do more. Stan Horn up first, and we do have, appears to be, a minor RPM. Maybe. Yeah. What's up, Jackalope? Yeah, I'm not sure on this one. I'll set it to the side. We have a die crack inside the 5, so it's going to be a good little marker to use. But I'm not promising anything on that one. It looks a little extra thick, the mint mark from side to side. But I'm not necessarily hopeful. What's up, Shinbone, Kin of Mine, Josh? Good day to everybody. All right, on up to coin number 2. Let's see here. That one will be for Sissy. Ah, crap. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can get this damn camera back. It just decides to go away when it feels like it. And if I don't notice, it can go away and not come back for a while. Let me see if I can get this baby to come back up. Let's see here. Let me check real quick. Oh no. It's telling me I'm on USB setup only. I don't know why that would happen. Okay, so let me close it and start all over again and see if re-kicking it will help. It looks like it wants to try to connect, but it isn't. Network speed very strong. What is going on here? Let's see if this works. No. Something's not working right. It's not connecting. Well, I'll just have to tell you what all the spots are because I can't make this thing work. I don't like OBS anymore. Oh, let's see. Don't like OBS and I don't like any of the rest of them. So, let's see. Sissy's coin number 2. Let's see what Sissy gets. And it's got an interesting little die break on the inside of the 5 of the date. Other than that, not much of anything here. There's DC. There's Frosty, Shinbone, Kin of Mine, Steve. Had a bunch of people show up while I was farting around trying to figure out what's going on with my camera. Nothing's working right. But I can expect that. That's the way the cookie crumbles, right? That's just how life is sometimes. Let's see. I got nothing there. Nothing on coin number 2. Hello, David Matthews. I don't specifically remember that, but the only way really to know is to completely understand what a proof looks like. And that's just something that takes some experience. Markers, unless they're perfect, they're not going to help you much. But this one was for Paul Hampton. Sorry, not announcing names already. Coin number 4 now, Dan McCumber. Dan McCumber. Let's see what Dan gets. Okay, that little die scratch next to the 9 right there is something I'm going to remember for this particular die pair. Not an RPM. Looks like maybe not anything out of the ordinary. Okay, we've seen this die pair before. Okay, so let's see. This one's for Brad. Brad gets this particular coin. I don't see anything on the mint mark here yet. Nope, got another one, that same die pair with that little comma mark between the 1 and the 9 there. And we can prove that to ourselves because there is a little group of straight die scratches on the reverse right there, right above the E, little die gouge. So this one again. Well, David, all of that can be used to say, yeah, it's kind of possible, but none of that is going to necessarily give you 100% promise on anything. It's really just a matter of knowing what to look for. If there's any die wear at all on the coin, it's not a proof, because proofs from that era don't have any die wear at all. Okay, Evolution Revolution up next. And I know you cannot see the camera on the right side. I am aware of that, but we're not going to have that tonight because, well, for some reason it doesn't want to work. Let me see, I'm going to try something different here. Let's see if this helps. Maybe I have to have this open and running. I don't know about this. I'd say when technology changes, I have trouble catching up to it. All right, let me see if this did anything different. There's some sort of a app now that you have to have with it, and I don't even know what that is. I don't know what it means, but maybe having it up and running will help me. Or perhaps not. David Matthews, I don't recommend anyone just send coins off to grading without really knowing what you're doing, because most of the time when people who don't really know what they're doing submit coins, they waste their money. That's just a cold hard fact. Because what they end up with is not what they thought they had. If you can take good photos, I would look at photos of the coin for you and let you know what your chances are of having a proof there. But if you're down to having to check markers, you've either got a near perfect looking coin, or you just don't really know what you're looking at. And that's not a dig. There's millions of people who don't know what they're looking at. So we can go that way. Evening, John. I'm sorry, that was a coin for Kurt Pierce. Kurt Pierce on that one. Now the next one's going to be for Jim. Jim Fletcher. This one is not an RPM. Let's check and see what else we have here. One really nice double die obverse to be watching for in 1954S. Yeah, if you want to take a photograph or photographs of your coin, make sure you get the whole coin in, get it properly lit for detail, to be able to see detail, and take a photograph of the entire obverse and the entire reverse of the coin, and send them to cd@coppercoins.com, and I'll take a look for you. Got nothing on this one. Nope, don't want an amscope. Just need a photograph of the entire obverse and the entire reverse with good lighting. Something like that. I don't need micro photos. Probably about 90% of the time I can tell you immediately whether you have a proof or not. About the other 10% of the time I'd have to look at the coin in person to tell you. But that's rare for me to have to actually examine the coin. Nothing on that one for Tim Weber. Next up, coin number 10 now. Blaine. cd@coppercoins.com. It's my initials, Charlie Delta, cd@coppercoins.com. Name of this channel. That one looks a little bit thick, but it's not really showing me doubling. It's not showing me anything I can necessarily hang my hat on as to this being a doubled mint mark. So we will just keep moving right along. There's a rim cud for you right there between the E of we all the way across to the S of trust. That little extra filled area there that you see with splits on either end of it, that is piece of the edge of the die that broke off and only affected into the rim. It's almost like flaking, I guess. That one was for Blaine. Let's see what's next. And next up is Farm Dog. And Farm Dog. Seeing a normal 54S here too, it appears. We may be starting the day with a dud. Want to let you guys know, I know that a number of you have heard me say that I'm going to retire from selling coins and back off of the online experience. That is true. I may sell here and there once in a while. When I get a pile of stuff together, I may run an auction. Doesn't mean that I'm going to be gone for good. Additionally, I will probably be doing reveals on a relatively regular basis. I'm going to get myself back to actually being able to stream something like this. It's there's just so much prep time and so much other stuff. We've seen this die pair. Got that little comma next to the 9 there. My work always comes first, and at this point, my work is programming and photography and research for coppercoins.com. That's where my quote-unquote living is going to go. The reason I can do that now is I've got income from other sources, and I don't have to sell coins just to be able to pay my bills. So I've decided not to, because I have bigger fish to fry. So here and there, I will still be selling items. I will still be selling on eBay. I will still be selling through LincolnCent.com for the time being. But it's the live auctions. I just don't really have the energy or time to continue that. Reveals are going to be kind of a hit and miss thing. Yeah, Dan, we need to do that for sure, because I've got 3 or 4 invoices sitting there waiting for us to do the math. I hope you know I'm not expecting payment. They're just sitting there, and you keep getting reminders because of the natural settings of PayPal. But I know that you've got silver sitting here that hasn't been counted up yet. I'll use the postmark date to figure out what the price of silver was at the time. Probably somewhere north of $50. Otis. Otis. I don't see anything here. A few interesting die scratches and die cracks here and there on some of these coins, but I haven't seen anything that is a full-on die variety yet. Yeah, Steve, see, that's the direction I want to go. I want to go where you keep getting more education because of what I'm doing and what I'm releasing and what I'm learning and finding out. As soon as I discover or know something, or as soon as somebody sends something to me that is a discovery, I always let that news straight out. I don't reserve anything. I'm not trying to be secretive about anything. And I just need the time to be able to do all that work. There's a bunch of work that goes into it, and it doesn't really make much money, which is why I can't afford to do it as my primary income, my primary living. But I have income from another source now that I don't need to make as much money doing what I do sitting here on a regular basis, so I don't need to sell coins. So what I'm going to do is sell out of my inventory and go back to, just being Chuck and not trying to be somebody's coin dealer. I've kind of grown myself away from doing that or wanting to do that. Here's number 18, Kurt Pierce. I know our camera on the side doesn't work. I'll try to get that figured out when I come back from Florida, but I'm not going to be able to figure it out tonight, I can tell you that. I'm going to try to restart my computer between broadcasts and see if that helps, but no promises. Kurt, got nothing there. Yeah, I'm going to attempt within the year of 2026 to get as much as I can listed and to work closely with Eric on getting as much as we can possibly get listed. And then I'm going to try cleaning up my reference set because I have 25,000 some odd coins sitting here that haven't had any attention paid to them because I haven't had time. So after that, and after I get things more or less tidied up with the collection as it sits, I will open up and begin taking begin taking attribution submissions. But it's going to be close to a year, if not more than a year, before I start that. Seen this die pair before, and it has nothing in it. Yeah, and it's not only the part about doing the auctions, but it's the part about trying to keep up with the paperwork afterwards. Trying to keep up with who's paid and who hasn't paid and what's been boxed and what hasn't been boxed. And it's a full-time job by itself, and there's just no way that you can do what I want to do around trying to run a weekly live auction. I have so many more things that I would like to be able to do with my knowledge and what talent I have that will benefit coin collectors everywhere, and it's not just sitting around trying to make a profit. So I'm happy to be able to move into the area that I'm going into. And I'm also very happy to be that guy, because I fit the job description, you know? So it's going to be a good thing. This one was for Tim. Again, Tim Weber. That's coin number 22 for Tim Weber. Now coin number 23 goes to Mickey. Coin 23 to Mickey. Not really seeing much anything here. A few die cracks here and there. About it. I'm working on my backstock inventory right now, trying to get my backstock inventory all wrapped up so I can take it elsewhere and sell it to a gentleman who wants to buy the entire thing, which is exactly what I wanted. I want to be able to sell it all at one fell swoop. There are 13 boxes of double row boxes full of flips that are full of coins, and these coins aren't your 10-cent wheat pennies. Most of these coins are valued at above $10 per coin, some of them into the hundreds. Oh, Mr. Fletcher, good evening to you, sir. This one is for Taco John. And again, we come up kind of empty. You never know when you're going to hit one of these rolls that, like the last time I did a show last week, we had, 48 out of 50 coins, or 41 out of 50 coins. 41 out of the 50 coins in the roll were RPMs. That was a 1960D roll. They were 60D RPM 19 and a different one or two that I'm not sure what they were. Oh, Shinbone. Arizona coins. Good day to you, sir. And still looking for my first die variety of the evening. That has not yet happened. I'm on here a little bit later than you would generally expect because I want to try mixing up the times a little bit. Once I can get over the hump of getting myself shifted into a different gear, I will probably be able to do this on a little more of a regular basis. Talking maybe 5 rolls a week, do one each day, because I won't be trying to get an auction together. See how well that works. Jim, your coin. This one is going to be another of that same die. That little mark next to the bottom of the 9 tells me that. You flip it over, and it's going to have a solid bar above the E of America right there. This is definitely an original roll, but even as being an original roll, die varieties are a lot less common than coins that don't have die varieties. So you should expect probably 75-80% of the time not to find anything in your rolls. I'd say at least 80% would have nothing in them. No, it's not like keeping fingernail clippings. And that's actually something that for some people hit a gag reflex. Look at that. We do have an RPM after all. Nice little RPM that shows doubling on the upper and the lower parts of the mint mark. This one is for Carl. Carl takes this coin. And that's definitely one of the nicer marked RPMs that's been listed. I don't know which one it is right now, but you can watch for one that's got the die crack on the 1 and the die crack around in the 9, and should be able to identify this using that marker alone. All right, well, there we go. RPM for Carl. Doug Rizak, next up for this one. And this one turns out to be a normal coin. Yeah, which this is the one with the double crack on the forehead. Got 2 cracks up there. It's not going to have anything on it. Yeah, Patreus, it is not operational. And I didn't know that until I came up and started working on this. So I am announcing who gets the coins we're looking at. This one is for Carrie. Nothing here on this one. This is one that's got the slightly fat side-to-side mint mark without any real, I'd say 100% story that it is definitely an RPM. So I'm not going to make the call on it. And so that was for Carrie. Jim. Mr. Fletcher. See what we have. Not there. That's the double die crack. So that's not going to have anything. One for Mr. Fletcher. Here we go. Coin number 34. This one goes back to Doug Rizak again. And Mr. Doug appears to have a normal coin here. A little bit of a die crack between the B and the E of Liberty. Very common weak area of the design on wheat cents is right there between the B and the E of Liberty. A lot of times that little area between the B and the E would chip out of the die, leaving a raised area on the coin. And when that happens, you get what looks like a BIE. So these are called BIE or BI errors, if you want to call them errors. A lot of people collect them. They're not necessarily outside of tolerance, and they're not necessarily really errors, but they are interesting nonetheless. Let's see here. Oh, another 1947. Let's see, what was that? I don't remember the story on that one. I've had a lot of stuff go on. This one was for Carrie again. Now coin number 36. Going to go to Carl. Carl seems to be the only one getting any die varieties this time. Oh, look at that. Exact same one a second time for Carl. Carl's the only one that's gotten one of these, and this is the second one in the roll. Hey, Carl, let other people have one here, right? Coin number 30, and now coin number 36. Now 37 goes to Dan. And Dan the man, nope, normal coin. A little bit of a smush on the lower part of the S, mint mark. Anybody happen to run across one of the streams where they're driving around in the lake effect snow up in New York? It's an area south of Watertown, north of Fulton. That's, man, I tell you what, that's some heavy snow. Oh, number 1? That would be cool. Here's another one for Carrie. Carrie up again. You know, we've got what appears to be die cracks, but on the 9, but there's no doubling on the mint mark, so not the RPM we're looking for. After this, we have a 1955 D roll, and then after that, we're going to do a special treat. It's going to be a 1957 proof roll. Of course, proof coins never came in rolls, so this would have been the result of 50 proof sets broken up and the coins tubed up in a roll. I went for Taco John. Next up, Carl again. Now let's see what happens. Hey, Carl did not get an RPM this time. Big old die crack across the coat. And that's it for that one. Let's see what happens next. Jim, Jim Fletcher. That one is not an RPM either. The Unfortunate Truth comes out. Yep, proof reveal will be this evening. Watching for any of those 1957 proof double dies. Got a few obverses and a few reverses. Some of them pretty nice. So at least we will get those out and find out what we're doing with them this evening. Keep seeing what could. It's just a little die crack on the S. That's weird. Okay. A little tiny little die crack. Looks almost like a separation to another S, but there's no relief showing where that S is. So looks like an S without there being an S. That can't happen. Evolution Revolution comes up coin number 43. This is coin number 43. And nothing going on here. After this is over, I want you guys to go back out in the lobby and watch for reveal number 862. It'll be a 1955 D roll. I'm going to exit stage left and restart my computer to see if I can force this camera to start up. I am ill-educated in how to handle tech issues when it comes to something not working the way I expect it to work. I kind of just expect it to work, and if it doesn't, I just throw my hands up in the air. I don't know what to do. All right, this one's for Blaine. So Blaine gets one of our RPMs as well. So we got an RPM for Blaine and 2 for Carl, and all of them are the same die. You didn't miss the proofs. It's coming up later, DC. Or you missed getting into them. That I'm sorry about, but you didn't miss the reveal itself. Stan the Man. Stan Horn, let's see what Stan gets. And it is not an RPM. Not a die variety at all. That was for Stan, so we continue. Coin number 46 now. Got 5 coins left. The first one of those 5 goes to Brad. And this is Brad's coin. This is your life. I keep seeing something that may look like a bit of an RPM, but I just don't really see it. Let me zoom in a little bit here and see if it kind of makes itself apparent. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing something. It's a split right here. And then this is extra thick up here. So we probably have an RPM. We've got other ones of this particular die in the roll, I'm sure, because I've seen it a few times. It's that one with that little spiky thing in the center of the 5. So it'll be easy to pull more of these out and take a better look at them. That's just a die. It's a die crack. Little chip with a die crack. But yeah, this is going to end up being an RPM. I'm pretty sure of it. It's amazing how many times I've seen this particular die come through in this roll. Now that one's for Brad. And wasn't able to separate those from the chaff. One for Mark Thomas. See what Mark gets. Not that same die. Nothing there for Mark Thomas. What's up, Adam? Next up, coin number 48. Mickey. Mickey's coin now. I got nothing on this one. Just a later dice date, 1954S. Lincoln cent. Coin 49. One of the last 2 coins. This one goes to Jim Fletcher. And Jim, not an RPM. Not a double die. Yes, Adam, I will be there. we'll be staying at the same place, Bonnet Creek, so you know where we will be. There's another one of those with that, and it does have it, so I am not seeing things. This definitely has that doubling on the lower half of the mint mark. You can see it right there in my little spot of light. You can see the separation right there. And then this is extra wide, but I don't really see anything in the serifs, which is what has given me a bit of a start. But I think what that is the angle of appearance here is going to cause the serifs to hide one another. So that's why we don't really see much of anything there. I could probably go through and separate all of what's here of these from the other coins, but I'll take care of that later. This one's for Paul Hampton, so that's the last coin in the roll. Went to Paul Hampton. Yep, so we've got the 5 crack, and then we've got the other one that has a pretty nice looking RPM. It's pretty easy to see. And that is what we have for this 1954S roll. That was reveal number 861. Getting ready to move on to number 862. That's going to be a 1955D roll. I'll see you guys in about 10, maybe 15 minutes. See you then.